We're going to start our warm-up in mountain pose. This class peaks at mermaid, which is a nice progression from the class we did last month, which peaked at half pigeon. So we're going to start in mountain pose. We're going to lift through the arches of the feet, engaging the adductors of the legs, the thighs, lifting through the kneecaps to pull up the quads. We're lengthening down through the tailbone or the coccyx, lengthening all the way through the crown of the head. The hands are nice and active and the chest is open. We're going to start with some gentle neck stretches, just moving the neck side to side in lateral flexion. Something very important to keep in mind is you want to keep your shoulder blades engaged. So if you don't do that, your shoulder will just come up when you push your neck to the side, negating the entire stretch. So just make sure that your chest and your back are active to keep those shoulder blades down. Do some nice shoulder rolls, just sort of check in, bringing awareness to the breath. We're going to step the feet hip width apart, and on the exhale, come into standing lateral flexion. So we're grounding down through the outside edge of the foot here. We're engaging the glute, we're engaging the core. Inhale, exhale, lift, really reach, and we're pressing out of the palm, just like we do this when we're in a sitting position. It's the same thing, we're just standing, and we've added a little bit of adduction to the arm that's down. So we're stretching the whole side here. This pose actually helps correct poor posture if you tend to be rounded in the shoulders. We're going to come into a high lunge. So we're going to line up the outside edge of the foot on the back side with the mat. We're going to square the hips. Now, unlike Warrior One, you should be able to square your hips fairly well since the back foot is straight. So we're engaging the glutes, raising the arms. We're stretching out that hip flexor in the back leg. And then as we exhale, we're going to twist towards the front leg, keeping the chest nice and open. We're engaged all the way to the fingertips. Come back up. And then we're going to come down and switch sides. I like to line my foot up with the edge of my mat because it helps me keep it straighter than if I was just going in the center of the mat. So we're lengthening down through the tailbone or the coccyx. We've engaged the glutes. We're engaged in the inner thighs or the adductors. The core is engaged here. So we're inhale, we exhale, settle into the pose. As we twist, we exhale. Really warming up. So we're warming up the spine because mermaid's a pretty deep twist. And we're warming up the hip flexors. We're going to come into wide leg forward fold here. So we're sealing off through the outside edges of the foot. We're lifting through the arches all the way up through the hips, lengthening down through the tailbone or the coccyx. We're going to inhale, exhale, and bend at the hip. And don't worry about going too far into the pose because we're still warming up. Remember, if we are stretching the back side, the front's engaged. So we're stretching out the hamstrings and the calves. So we're engaging the quads, the thighs. We're going to bring the feet closer together here. We're going to come into a standing forward fold as we exhale. Reaching for the floor, gentle bend in the knees. Just really warming up the whole body. Roll the shoulders down and back. We will continue our warm-up next month, and we will peak at mermaid.